Live and on demand from the WNY News Now studios in downtown Jamestown. This is WNY News Now.
And thanks for joining us for WNY News Now, TGIF to you and yours. I'm Justin Gould. Here's what's happening. Jamestown's police chief says New York's bail reform will likely lead to increased recidivism. Plus, we tell you about a fundraiser that seeks to raise money for a local teen battling a tough form of cancer. But first, Chief Forecaster Dakota Hunter, he's live with a look at our Friday forecast. Hey, Dakota.
Hey, Justin, and happy Friday, everybody. The end of another work week, and as you take a look at First Defense Doppler, we don't have really a whole lot going on. There will be the chance for a spotty afternoon rain shower or snow shower through the afternoon. We'll show it to you on Future Scan. You can see the model does pick up on these little spotty showers. This isn't associated with a cold front that's going to be plowing through the area, and you know what happens with a cold front behind it. The temperatures drop, and we do see a little influx of moisture with it, but that should be about it. Tonight should be mainly dry, and then the weekend will be nice beyond that after we get through all of the cold, but it still will be cold for this time of the year. As we take a look at the almanac, the official high yesterday was 30 degrees. There we go. It was 32, and we bottomed out at 26 degrees this morning. This clicker is just, we should be near 48 this time of the year, and the record low for today was 14, set back in 1996. Obviously, that is safe for another year. Hour by hour forecast, temperatures will be down into the 30s once again today, and there will be that chance for a spotty rain shower or snow shower through the afternoon, but otherwise it still will be cold. Will we see any warm up in sight? We'll talk about it in a few minutes. Back to you.
Alrighty, Dakota, thank you very much. Our top story, under New York State's new bail law, Jamestown Police Chief Harry Snelling says the recidivism rate will likely increase. Snelling spoke during a press conference last week with law enforcement officials from across Chautauqua County.
Even if we arrest this drug dealer and he's out or she is out the very next day, they're going to re-up. And what I mean by re-up is they're going to be resupplied with drugs, and they're going to go right back to doing what they were doing prior to us kicking in their door.
Now, the bail law, part of the state's criminal justice reforms, eliminates pretrial detention and money bail for the wide majority of misdemeanor and nonviolent felony cases. State officials say the changes are expected to reduce the number of people held in jail while awaiting trial. Chautauqua County Executive and State Senator-elect George Borrello called on officials to repeal the recently passed reforms before they take effect on January 1st, 2020. In other news we're following, a Nashville man was charged for allegedly driving while intoxicated after crashing his car on Interstate 86 yesterday. New York State Police say 61-year-old David Pugh drove his vehicle off the highway. Pugh was taken into custody after allegedly failing several standardized field sobriety tests. Troopers say he was taken to the Jamestown, New York State Police Barracks, where he provided a breath sample of .16. Pugh was then processed, issued tickets, and released. He is scheduled to appear in the town of Poland court at a later date. Well, Jamestown High School grad Stephen Carlson scored his first NFL touchdown for the Cleveland Browns Thursday night at First Energy Stadium. WNY News Now's Norm Rodriguez is here with a look at what happened last night. Some pretty exciting news, Norm.
That's right, Justin. The rookie tight end caught the 8-yard touchdown pass from quarterback Baker Mayfield that quickly became the talk of the town. Undrafted in the NFL draft this year, Carlson was signed as a priority undrafted free agent by the Cleveland Browns in April. He was on the Browns practice squad since September 2019, since his promotion in November. Cleveland defeated the Pittsburgh Steelers 21-7 on Thursday Night Football. Carlson was a two-time first-team All-State player in his junior and senior seasons at Jamestown High School. In his senior year of college, Carlson had 51 receptions for 683 yards and 5 touchdowns for the Princeton Tigers. Overall, Carlson finished his collegiate career with 125 catches for 1,632 yards and 16 touchdowns. Coming up in sports, we recap the whole game and a pretty tough brawl between one of Carlson's teammates. Justin?
Alrighty, Norm, we're certainly looking forward to that. Very exciting, and we wish him well on his continued career. Well, this year's Red Kettle Salvation Army Drive is going digital. That's because shoppers are carrying less cash. The Salvation Army says they're now using smart chips and QR codes on their Red Kettle signs to allow electronic donations. Now, prospective donors would simply bump or scan their phones to make a donation. The funds then would be sent to a local Salvation Army unit based in the donor's zip code. Now, supporters would then receive an email receipt for their donation. So pretty cool. Certainly, everything's in the 21st century world now, including some great donations. And it's so iconic, right? Especially, I think probably right around Thanksgiving is when they really start to hit the streets, so to speak, and to hit the stores. And you always hear those red bells, and you know that it certainly is Christmas time and the holidays are here. And, like they say, every little donation certainly does count, even if it's a couple of cents or, if you have a QR code, what's $5, right? A cup of coffee. So certainly good idea always to forego that for a little bit of helping them out. Hello to Cindy. Great to see you here on the broadcast. Good to see Justin. Hopefully you're having a great day and staying warm out and about. Hello to Smathers as well. Good afternoon to you. Hopefully you are doing well where you are. Jay, hello to you. Joseph, great to see you as always on the broadcast. We love having you here. Samantha, good afternoon to you. Rod, Pam, and Mackenzie are all here as well. Certainly is a pretty nice day out there. Kind of cloudy, but nevertheless, we march along. And straight ahead, we tell you about a story of a local teen who's fighting a tough form of cancer right now and how his neighbors are trying to help. But first, how one program is trying to help you pay your heating bill. Dakota.
Oh, that'll be interesting. Heating bill help. There you go. Here's a live look coming from the Warren City Bank in downtown Warren. It looks very Christmassy out there with the snow that fell, but will we see any more snow in that 7-day? We'll talk about it as WNY News Now continues in a minute. Don't go away.
Live and on demand, you're watching WNY News Now.
EagleZip.com is your local one-stop shop for all of your home and business computer needs. Located on Fluvanna Avenue Extension, just outside of Jamestown, EagleZip.com sells and services all brands of desktops and laptops, as well as servers and network equipment for your business. All new computer sales include transferring your data from your old computer plus a 2-year warranty. Call EagleZip.com today.
Stop by EagleZip.com today and let us make computers easy for you.
With coverage that matters. This is WNY News Now.
Want weather now? Download the WNY News Now mobile app and stay up to date on severe weather alerts. Plus, anytime hazardous weather strikes, stick with the Southern Tier's only 24/7 streaming network that keeps you safe. You're all in a tornado warning, so now is the time to go to a safe place, small room, lowest floor, near the center, away from windows. What are you waiting for? Download the WNY News Now mobile app today. It's free in the Apple App Store and Google Play Store.
Well, happening now, New Yorkers seeking help with heating their homes this winter can apply for $388 million in federal funding. Eligible homeowners can receive up to $726 of monthly assistance, that depending on their income, household size, and how they heat their home. A family of 4 with an annual gross income of over $57,000 could qualify. The state's Home Energy Assistant Program says it helped nearly 1.5 million households last year. New Yorkers at risk of having their heat shut off or running out of fuel can also apply for an additional one-time energy assistance. That's starting on January 2nd. Applicants should contact their local Department of Social Services for more details. Well, adoptees can soon obtain a birth certificate under a new law passed by the Democrat-controlled legislature. Governor Andrew Cuomo says the law signed yesterday, and he signed that law yesterday, and he says now the current law has adoptees go before a judge to request access to their birth certificate. Advocates who have fought for this for over the past 2 decades say that access isn't always granted. The National Conference of State Legislatures says about half of states still require a court order. Some critics worry about privacy rights of birth parents. New York's new law allows their adult adoptees, their descendants, or legal representatives to obtain a copy of their original birth certificate. The law is set to take effect on January 15th. Well, antibiotics, they save lives, but superbugs are outsmarting them. The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention says drug resistance is one of the greatest global health challenges of modern time. Britt Conway explains more in today's Health Minute.
Superbugs are germs capable of learning and evolving, making them resistant to the antibiotics designed to kill them. Nearly 36,000 Americans die from superbug infections every year, which is about 1 every 15 minutes. That's according to a 2019 report from the CDC, warning some miracle drugs no longer perform miracles. The agency says there are 5 drug-resistant superbugs that pose an urgent threat to global health. Genetic researchers found some germs can share their DNA with other germs, effectively teaching them how to outwit complex antibiotics. The CDC says most deaths from drug-resistant infections are caused by germs typically found in hospitals. But the report notes while superbug infections from hospitals are down from the 2013 study, infections caught anywhere else in the community are on the rise. Experts point to the overprescribing of antibiotics as a factor behind growing drug resistance. And they say the only way to prevent the rise of antibiotic-resistant infections is if doctors, patients, and policymakers work together. For today's Health Minute, I'm Britt Conway.
All right, Britt, thank you. Now, antibiotics can be overused to treat infections in the animals we eat. The CDC says 20% of all drug-resistant infections come from our food. U.S. regulations prevent livestock farmers from using drugs important to human health or on their animals, except in certain circumstances. Well, bust out your sponges and garbage bags. That's because today is National Clean Out Your Fridge Day. Yeah, it's a thing. The day was created by Whirlpool to help people prepare for the holidays. Now, with large family gatherings and tons of food like turkey and ham, your fridge can become full pretty quickly. It can also be good for your health to do a deep clean of the refrigerator. The Sanitation Foundation found the meat and vegetable drawers are some of the dirtiest spots in our kitchens. Some tips to clean out your fridge include emptying each shelf, washing underneath the drawers, and checking the expiration dates for all food inside. Certainly, it is lunchtime, and I'm sure maybe if you're at home getting some food, you're headed to that fridge. I know it's difficult. The thing with I live with my girlfriend, so we live 2 people in our apartment. So the fridge really isn't that full that often, but every now and then we have leftovers or something like that. It always seems like that's shoved to the back and is left there for a long time, probably longer than it should be eaten. So definitely a good day to clean out the fridge, maybe when you get home, or probably even a good weekend as well. Jay, he says, woohoo, it is time to celebrate. TGIF to you, Jay. Thanks so much for joining us here on the broadcast. Hello to Samantha. She says, wash hands more often. Certainly that would help kind of fight away some super bugs as well. He says, it looks like he was adopted, so maybe now he can find his birth parents. So certainly that's always an interesting thing, right? Because if you put your child up for adoption, certainly I suppose part of that is the confidentiality that maybe, unfortunately you're not wanting them, which is super sad, honest to God. But everyone has their own prerogative. So with that, you don't necessarily want them to come back and find you. But under this new law in New York State, that's possible now if the person so chooses without needing a court order. So hello to Cindy. Hopefully you're doing well. Thank you so much for tuning in here on the broadcast. We have a lot more to tell you about this half hour. Coming up, Chief Forecaster Dakota Hunter. He's here with a look at our weekend weather forecast. And later on, we tell you about a fundraiser that seeks to raise money for a local teen with a tough form of cancer. What you can do to help when WNY News Now returns. Pronto Mart, not your average corner store. Located on the corner of Forest and Newland Avenues in Jamestown, Pronto Mart has everything you've been looking for. An amazing selection of hot foods, a large variety of premier headgear, and smoking accessories to fit any style. Pronto Mart, not your average corner store. Stop in and visit us today.
You're watching WNY News Now, where coverage comes first.
Extra, extra, read all about it. Not tomorrow, but right now on the WNY News Now mobile app. Follow local news as it happens.
Top story: a Forestville man's weather video has gone viral.
And stay informed with the Southern Tier's only 24/7 streaming network.
Our Matt Hummel is standing by live outside of Chautauqua County Court with more on this case. Matt, good afternoon to you.
Download the WNY News Now app right now. It's free on the Apple App Store and Google Play Store.
First Defense Weather, the Southern Tier's only live and local weather source. Now, here's Chief Forecaster Dakota Hunter.
Yeah, I know leftovers all too well. When you're Italian, you just cook a lot of food, more than you can eat, so the leftovers sit in there for days. Guilty. All right, let's take a look at the snow that we've had so far this season. We're up to 7.9 inches for the year so far, and last year we were at 8.1 at this time of the year. So we're actually running close to where we were last year, and hopefully that's not an omen of what's going to be coming later in the month. And we tack on one more below average day. The high yesterday was 32, and I'm going to tell you right now, you're going to fill in the next 7 days with this blue color. Every single day this month has been below average, so that knocks the monthly average down to 37.2. It was at 0.6 yesterday, but when we add that 32-degree high, this is where we should be for a monthly high for the month. 48. Yikes. Nowhere near that right now. Clouds kind of about on the HD News Now cam. We're at 31. Southwest wind at 12. A little bit breezy out there. This is part of the reason why it's a little bit warmer. We have that southerly wind component. Got a dew point of 27 and the wind chill's 22 when you combine the average wind speed and the temperature together. First Defense Doppler radar. Nothing showing up right now, but there will be the chance for a few of those little spotty rain or snow showers basically, across the southern tier today. Look at this mess down here in the southeast. This is a low pressure area that's currently centered on the Florida Peninsula. Now, if this were to take a track up the East Coast, this would be a big-time snowstorm. It's actually not going to. It's actually going to take a track out, basically out to sea. So we don't have to worry about that becoming a major snowstorm across the Northeast. But if it were to move up the Northeast, that's exactly what would happen this time of the year. Bigger story, temperatures. We're going to be dipping down possibly to record lows again tonight. These are the forecast low temperatures coming off the computer model by about 7 o'clock tomorrow morning. Jamestown around 14, Dunkirk at 22, Cattaraugus 14, Olean 16, Warren 17. These are the air temperatures. Now, when you take the wind speed and the temperatures into effect, you're going to have the wind chill, and it's going to be another bitter wind chill tomorrow morning. 3 degrees is the projected feels-like temperature for Jamestown, 5 in Dunkirk, 2 in Cattaraugus, 1 little lonely degree in Olean. So we're dealing with this yet again, but we're getting into winter. We're going to start talking about wind chills more and more often. So if you're going out early tomorrow morning, bundle up in layers because it's going to be frigid. Couple of light rain, snow showers today, otherwise no big deal, but cold, around 33 degrees, cooler pockets, probably lower 30s. 15 tonight, that's the average low. If we can get 15, that'll actually tie the record. If we get to 14, that'll break it. The record was set back in 1976 with that northeast wind 7 to 14 miles per hour. The next 7 days of your life are on the screen. 32 degrees tomorrow, 38 Sunday. The weekend, not bad, but cold. More clouds Monday, so the temperature will be knocked down to 37. We stay below average for the remainder of the week, and when it comes to these temperatures, do whatever you can to stay warm. Norm will have sports right after this.
When you're on the go, stay in the know by downloading the WNY News Now mobile app. Stay up to date on local news, weather, and sports that matter to you. Plus, subscribe to breaking news and weather alerts from the team that puts coverage first. In addition, watch news as it happens with the Southern Tier's only 24/7 streaming network. Download the WNY News Now app right now. It's free on the Apple App Store and Google Play Store.
You're watching WNY News Now, your source for breaking news. WNY Sports Now is powered by Phone Zone of Jamestown. With the largest inventory around, we buy and sell our own merchandise at a price that can't be beat. Have a broken screen? We'll fix it. Learn more at phonezoneshop.com.
Rejoice, sports fans, it is Friday. Welcome back to WNY News Now. I'm Norm Rodriguez with a look at sports. With a 7:05 puck drop tonight, the Jamestown Rebels will play the first of a two-game home series against the Northeast Generals. Jamestown is coming off of a 6-5 win in a shootout against the Johnstown Tomahawks in their last game. The Rebels, however, are still in last in the East with 14 points, 4 points behind the Maryland Black Bears. On the opposing end, Northeast is in the middle of the road of the same division with 20 points, 2 points behind the Wilkes-Barre Scranton Knights. Saturday night's game will also have a 7:05 puck drop. Besides Steven Carlson's touchdown catch in the final seconds of the Browns-Steelers game, a big brawl ensued. As you'll see in the video, Browns defensive end Myles Garrett rips Steelers QB Mason Rudolph's helmet off his head, and while being restrained, smacks Rudolph on top of the head with the helmet. Garrett wasn't the only player from either team involved. Another Browns player, Larry Ogunjobi, pushed Rudolph to the ground from behind. Steelers center Marquise Pouncey also got involved by punching and kicking Garrett in the end zone. Garrett, Ogunjobi, and Pouncey were ejected from the game. Cleveland would win the game 21-7, and we just got information on disciplinary action. Myles Garrett was given an indefinite suspension without pay, which includes the rest of this season and the playoffs. Marquise Pouncey got a 3-game suspension. Larry Ogunjobi got a 1-game suspension, and both teams were fined $250,000. On Sunday at 1 o'clock, the 6-3 Buffalo Bills will be on the road for a divisional game against the 2-7 Miami Dolphins. Buffalo will look to shake off a 19-16 loss, ironically, against the Cleveland Browns in their last game. Meanwhile, Miami has won back-to-back games, their last one being a 16-12 win over the Indianapolis Colts. According to ESPN's Power Football Index, Buffalo has nearly a 65% chance to get their 7th win of the season. The game will be televised on CBS. That's it for sports today. Back to Justin and Dakota.
Alrighty, Norm. Thank you very much. Certainly, actions have consequences for sure. Well, in local news, a GoFundMe page is looking to raise money to help a local teen who is battling an aggressive form of cancer. The page, set up by Alicia Raymond, so far has raised over $6,000 for 14-year-old Frewsburg native Brendan Edwards, who late last month was diagnosed with stage 4 cancer. Raymond says the news has been unbelievably difficult for Brendan, his family, friends, neighbors, and the community at large. Now, in an effort to respect his privacy, they're not sharing details. However, he is starting treatment at Roswell Park Cancer Center to fight for his life. Now, Edwards is the oldest of 4 siblings. He enjoys sports, school, and doing chores on his family's farm. Raymond says the Edwards family is currently a one-income household, and every donation, big or small, certainly helps. Now, Dakota, the community is also holding a can drive at Frewsburg Central School on Saturday, November 23rd from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. To view that GoFundMe page, you can go to WNYNewsNow.com. We have a link to it as well on our mobile app.
And, I seen this on Facebook because all my friends started sharing it.
Right.
And we see stuff like this in the country with all the GoFundMe pages from the kids who get diagnosed with cancer, but you never realize it'll happen in your own community when it does.
And you know what we've always talked about this that anytime that something like this comes about in the community, it seems like everyone always comes out to support it in one way or another. And like you said, even just for trying to share it and donate prior to the news talking about about it. Certainly, I think for us, our reach will help. Hopefully, that's the goal of it, anyways, to get more eyes onto this story and onto the page. And certainly, it's always so tough. And every time I think of child cancer, I think of little Callie Swan, who passed away following her battle with cancer. Her parents, very well known in the Jamestown community, started Callie's Crusade to try to help kids with cancer. And every year they have great fundraising efforts, and they really help a lot of people. So certainly, this GoFundMe is certainly a step in that direction.
And cancer is hard no matter at which age you're at,
Right.
but I think it's especially more heartbreaking for the young kids who get diagnosed with it. I mean, these kids have their whole life in front of them, and yet they have to fight a battle that in reality they really shouldn't be battling in the first place.
Right, exactly. It's so unfair. So, and especially for him, he's at the peak of his childhood, right? And you should be out hanging with friends and not having to deal with this. So certainly, our thoughts and prayers go out to him and his family in this time of hopefully healing. Certainly, we'll be praying for that.
Pray for the best. That's all you can do.
Let's switch gears here to get a check of our.
Yeah, let's take a look at the weekend planning forecast. And the weekend, it's going to be cold no matter which way you look at it. There will be the chance for an early flurry early tomorrow morning. Otherwise, that cuts out, leading to a lot of sunshine. Same thing for Sunday. We warm up a little bit. Again, on Sunday, 38 degrees. That's going to feel like a heat wave compared to where we have been. But it looks like by the middle or end of next week, we'll be getting close to 40. But the average high is 48.
All right, so the story for the weekend then. Saturday, cold.
Sunday, cold.
Warmer?
Well,
I guess.
Andrew said it Wednesday, heat wave.
Heat wave, yeah.
So.
We'll see. If you can give us those 40s, I think that'd be good. So.
Well, I could lie to you and put 40 in the forecast, but.
Well, no one wants that. Sometimes the truth hurts, but it's needed. All right.
True.
Thank you, Dakota.
You're welcome.
Hey, that's going to do it for us today. Of course, news continues 24/7 at WNYNewsNow.com. When you're on the go, stay in the know. Download our mobile app. Dakota's got it. I got it.
Yep.
You should have it too. We leave you with a live look over Chautauqua Lake. Hopefully you have a great weekend, and we'll see you back here on Monday.